we are on. Hey, folks.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of The Mind and the Martyr here on Friends Who Roll Dice. How are we doing today? Everybody all right? Trying not to go crazy. I know in the UK that it's currently like 145 billion degrees and we're melting. So I hope that everybody else is okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump right in with our sponsors. As always, going to throw it over to Ty for DM Emporium.
Hi, I'm Ty with the DM Emporium. It's your one-stop shop for everything that you could possibly want in a D&D or any really tabletop adventure that you're going to have. It's got, dice, dice vaults, dice trays, dice towers. You got the dice stuff covered. Then you got like miniatures, flock, all sorts of things. We've even got a drinking horn session, so you can drink like your character, and you don't have to break to. We got flasks. We got all sorts of good stuff. And if there's something that you were looking for that you couldn't find, hit me up. I will try to find it for you. And if you use the code FWRD, you get 10% off your order. And we help build up this wonderful channel with all these wonderful people who want to continue to bring you this wonderful content. That's DM Emporium. We hope to see you.
All right. We are also sponsored by So Nerdware. If you want to go ahead and check them out on their website, they've got a whole bunch of merch from various different streaming folks, as well as 10% off if you throw in the code FRIENDS. They've got some really nice stuff, and you'll be supporting a whole bunch of people in the process as well. So, So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. All right. We are here. You are here. Our ridiculously talented cast are here. So, let's jump straight in, shall we? Where we last left off.
Crying.
The bug apocalypse had taken place.
The bug apocalypse.
Indeed. Some horrible little nasties known as Kruthiks had managed to burst their way through the basement of the inn where these folks were staying in the city of Zentane. Ishtin and Soup, being the badasses that they are, quickly engaged and actually pretty much almost dealt with them straight away before everybody else showed up. A little bit of badassery from everyone, a couple of punches, including a one-hit kill, Ishtin's multiple parries, Soup's little rope trick, and Jotra with a barrel. That was a thing.
It was great. I like that it's just Jotra with a barrel.
Jotra with a barrel. That's all you need to.
It's like
you want to check it out?
Hair, but
Check
Jotra
out the
with a
recap.
barrel.
Yeah. There was some moments of discussion between the party as they began to wind down and reach their rest. We had a discussion between Eridan, Ishtin, and Athanos, as well as Soup showing how wonderful of a cook he is with his Kruthic meatballs that were fed to the party. A few more discussions were had, a few more, I wouldn't say secrets, but feelings perhaps were indulged. And as Eridan was scanning over and attempting to decipher, we actually found out a little bit more about Eridan's possible past, as well as who else may have been involved.
I'm in danger.
We come back now in the morning with everyone ready to go and meet one of Athanos's previous contacts, let's say, as well as someone who was doing a deal for the innkeeper to keep everybody safe.
I don't think everyone knows that he's a contact just yet. I think Eridan. Yeah.
It was mentioned to a character, not to everyone.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, where we'd leave off, everyone is rested. You went ahead and did your long rest for the evening. You wake up probably quite early, considering after everybody has taken their watch. The innkeeper is still tied up, Violet, still being, was harassed for a while by Ishtin, rightly so.
I don't know. I was just watching her. I don't know what you're talking about harass. I don't know. I was not doing anything. I was just looking at her.
Indeed. Yes, Violet got very little to no sleep. we find ourselves just after waking, collected into the main room of the inn, getting ready to go. You folks are aware that this individual is trading towards one of the borders that have been set up by the guards in order to protect the area. As you are getting yourselves prepped and ready to go, Torn actually goes ahead and gets Ishton's attention and just says, you know, the barricade didn't work. These people could be invaded again. I'm going to stick around.
Well, yes, by the bugs. Yes, I mean, they came up through the basement, so I feel like they could go anywhere. Do you think that you can defend them all by yourself?
I think you and the others have probably scared them off just a little bit.
All right. You may also want to think about maybe taking them to a better part of the city above, where it is safer.
Agreed. I'll try and gather everyone around. They're probably a little scared of this place now, considering what they found out about the innkeeper, but I'll attempt to gather everyone and get them to somewhere safer.
Okay. Thank you for doing that.
Need it, because I have people suck. And he launches off Calamos from his arm. Protect. Or points at I forgot his name all of a sudden.
Horn.
Thank you. Yeah, and it hovers over his shoulder and just creates magic stones.
I'll kind of just come up to Ton and just
yeah,
kind of poke him for a second and look up and say,
Hope you do a better job than the last one.
and walks off.
Pretty fair.
Looks, just kind of chuckles for a second, grits his teeth, then just rests a hand on his blade. Just waits there.
All right, are we ready to set off then?
I think this is when Athena just comes down, yawning, just like loading his pistol as he comes down the stairs. Yeah.
Aaron
let's
was
go.
under the impression that he was already downstairs. Like he went outside or something.
Fashionably late. That's all it is.
Exactly. I'm sorry, what room is this actually taking place in?
Yeah, I thought it was like by the bar and like the main.
At the end of the last episode, I think everyone was convening into the main bar room to get ready to go.
Okay. All right. Then, yeah. As Athenos is coming down, I think I'll come up from the basement because I was watching Violet last. All right, well, what's the plan, all?
I think it's to catch this tabaxi and I guess question him. Is that what you guys wanted to do?
We wanted to see what was going on with those. Why? Hang on.
Why you're selling those?
Yeah, wait, hold on. I don't actually remember.
Why he was selling bug eggs to the innkeeper.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not
Yes.
crazy. I was like,
And I don't think it's much of a mystery. He wanted all the loot from the people that she killed and the money for the eggs, but we want to ask him.
Well,
needs to be
we
sure.
probably... Sorry, Athenos, what was that?
No, I just want to be sure because I don't completely trust. I'm not going to trust every word that comes out of that woman's mouth. And I gesture to assuming you brought up Violet. Was Violet still down there?
Oh no, she's still down there because
Okay.
she's kind of heavy. Actually, I was going to ask Ishton if you wanted to go and grab her for me.
Why don't you just wake her up and let her walk?
You seem to have a little bit of a joy in making her uncomfortable, so I thought you might want to wake her up.
No, I don't care. Somebody wake her up. I don't have the ability to wake her up. Somebody has to,
Somebody
do
goes
it.
and wakes her up.
Soup
It's
goes down
gonna
there.
Just
Yeah, you go ahead and head down. She's
Now, Violet, you said your tabaxi friend's gonna be coming, what, around 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock?
should be within the next hour or so. Yes.
Alright, so, if you're going to act as if everything's normal, we're going to be out of sight, I believe, if that's the plan, if that's okay with everybody else. And if you make a wrong move, my finned friend over here is going to have your head. Now, are you alright with that?
Yep.
As much as I know we don't want to, but we should probably untie her now.
That would be wise. It would be kind of
Yeah.
strange if you showed up tied up.
how is she getting along on that knee?
Not great. It's still quite the hobble as Violet is kind of moving around. And as soon as you begin to kind of untie her, her eye immediately kind of just glares at the end of Ishton's glaive, and then kind of back around to everyone else, back to the glaive.
It is
You can
very
see her.
pretty, yes? Would you like to see it more close? I will bring it more close. Look, okay, if you look at it, you can see, it looks like fire, yes? From a distance, you cannot tell, but close up, it looks like fire. I have heard it feels like it too.
That is so cool.
It's very finely crafted.
Oh, do we want to blame the bugs for the knee, or do you want?
I guess it's probably better to fix it.
He wanders over and he casts Cure Wound.
What is our plan to do with the tabaxi once he confirms or tries to lie his way out of confessing to what he has been doing?
Well,
Perhaps we should agree.
my thought was to hide, and he comes in, he sees Violet, everything looks fine, he comes up to the bar, and Bob's your uncle, we jump out and say hello, and don't let him escape.
Right, but what does that mean? Don't let him escape. Ever? Do we end him here? What is our plan?
Oh,
I'll talk to him. I feel like I could get some information out of him at the very least. Wherever he's getting these eggs up from, first of all, could probably help us figure out why or how these things are invading the place in the first place. Yeah, I'm just good with words. I think I can get some things out of him. And then after that, what happens to him is up to you. And depending on what he says, I might join in.
As
Up
long
to
as he
who?
thinks he's going to die, that doesn't matter. I don't necessarily want to just start killing people, but as long as he thinks that we will, we should get our answers that we want.
Right, but once you get them,
Oh,
See what happens.
justice from us or justice from someone else?
justice from us or risking justice from someone else, yes.
I personally like the idea of the mob rule. Leave him in town. Let the townsfolk handle him however they see fit.
And if how they see fit, will leave him to be able to do this again.
But if they're unfit, also have been taken in, but seem to be thinking clearly in times of emergency, if he can offer or lie his way into offering help, might spare him fall into the same trap that did before. It's
Soup takes his whittling knife down like a piece of wood as he's making a new bolt for his crossbow, and you just hear this dramatic
Are we going to have a debate here with him here about what to do with him?
Is an intimidation. I feel like we should decide. That way, the decision can be made if it needs to be made swiftly, and we'll feel outside of that process.
Agreed. This one, she gestures to Violet, I have already made my decision, and it was I who was selected first. But the other one, I will yield if the rest of the group wants to offer a chance at mercy at the hands of the crowd.
That sounds good to me, to be honest.
Well, I think it'd be easier to explain in case there is an objection. One, we just claim self-defense. The other one, we don't want to look like we're just coming in and murdering people. They might turn on us. Depending on what he says, of course. If he's like, yeah, screw all these people, I won't. I guess severity of crime. How many murders are we okay with letting them decide? How many must we decide for? His coffee mug is a human-sized coffee mug, so it's about like almost a bucket of coffee in the morning.
If that's not a mood, I don't know what is.
Agreed.
The tabaxi we will give over to the people, provided that we can convince them of the truth. This one is mine, or ours. Agreed.
I think. Oh, I guess.
All right, then I will take that.
Okay.
Eridan, Oren.
Yeah, that's fine.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. What else? Is there any else thing we need to prep? Do we want to make like traps or anything? Anything magical or ringy?
Athenos is the one that's going in first. Yes, the rest of us are hiding and having his back.
Actually, if we're gonna do it that way, Athenos, do you have any magical armor, like mage armor or anything?
No.
Ishtin, would you mind if I took what I did to your armor and do it for Athenos, since he could be possibly on his own for a little bit?
Athenos, do you want this?
I mean, I don't mind. I guess that making it a little bit harder to get hurt never hurt nobody.
You know, Jodra, you can take it off of me staff. That's fine.
No, it is fine.
That way
Athenos,
you all have the protection.
it has done me no harm so far, so I think it is safe. Let him take mine and give to you.
He goes over into your armor, and then you see he pulls out his kit, and he dabs in this super clear liquid. And as he goes across to the rooms and everything, where the place where they disappeared, you see they highlight and appear once more. And then he just licks his thumb and wipes them away. And he goes over to Athenos' armor and starts to do the same like careful describing process. And then the runes once again flash and disappear. And then he's like, okay, now I see you're using your fists a lot more than the staff. So if we could do I could do that on something if you prefer your fists a little more. I don't know if I can enchant your fists, but we could do maybe. I know the glaive is sacred, so I'm afraid to play, or I don't want to do anything to it. So
No.
Soup, do you want me to look at your crossbow?
He like looks taken aback. He's just like,
If that's okay, sorry. Okay.
No, I'll keep the magic on me staff. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Good. And he
I just felt like punching bugs.
they do crunch rather satisfying. And then he folds it back over and then kind of rolls it up and puts it back into a pouch on his belt. Okay. I'm awake. Let's do this.
All right.
Ready to head out?
All good to go?
Yep.
All right.
Shall we find a place to hide?
Are we?
Well-
Oh, I guess we should have discussed this. Are we going off in pairs or one? And like what? I'm great at planning, y'all. This is why I'm in charge of everything.
Let's split up, gang.
Akinos, do you need to speak to him alone, or can you bring a companion for safety?
I think I can speak to him alone. I'll be fine.
Are you sure of that? Have you fought him before? Do you know how strong he is?
And are you saying that to save face and look cool, or are you actually meaning it?
I don't need to look cool. I am cool. But I'm fine. Trust me, I'm fine.
To make yourself look more cool, then.
I mean, is it working?
No.
I mean, I think it's kind of cool.
It's working. But no, seriously, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. If you say so.
Say so.
It's about now that Violet kind of pipes up and just says, I know this is not going to help my situation, but where we're going is a bit of a it's kind of in the middle of a bunch of houses, so there'll be plenty of places to hide.
Good to know.
Just saying, let's go.
Head out.
Yeah.
I walk past her and one of my wings like knocks her on the shoulder, just like with the metal
A wing check.
Yeah, wing check.
Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. I go over to her back, and then I just need to adjust this real quick. And he's gonna take the egg out and pop it into a jar, and he's like, "There we go. That's much more secure." Feels the jar, puts it in his back.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check for me. We'll say with advantage because she is currently scared as heck.
That is gonna be double 18s, so 18.
Yeah. She doesn't seem to think you've done anything apart from secure it a little better.
I should get into place early before he comes because when she looks down at her plate now, I'm not very quiet.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't have anything that can help with that. Okay.
Good
All right.
planning. That's what helps with that. Good planning.
Indeed.
All right, we head out. This is awful. I hate planning shit.
Terrible.
After being whacked by the wing, Violet goes ahead and begins to walk out of the building.
Yeah, I follow
Slowly.
close behind. Yeah, of course.
Slowly.
While we're walking, Soup is going to like poke at Ishjan's knee.
Oh,
Gonna
yes.
Look up.
You want me to watch after him?
Yes, please.
Oh, I saw that.
All right. Violet begins to lead you through the town proper. There's on this side, quite a large collection of various different, rather tall, kind of tiered houses. As you're beginning to wind through, you begin to pick up just the slightest sound of rushing water from just towards kind of where you're heading. Ever so slight, just soft trickles. The place is just as empty as when you came in. You can see a lot of, as you're walking through, washing that's kind of been half hung up. You can see children's toys scattered across the floor, as well as some sewing and some knitting, perhaps, that's been left behind. And it's very kind of wastelandy. Suddenly, Violet stops in her tracks, just says, "Okay, so it's just before the barricade, just before the bridge. There's a little crossroads. We just need to take a left and a right. We'll be there in literally under a minute. So I can go ahead and stand out there and wait, and then we're good to go."
Can I insight check her while she's saying that?
You may.
That is a 17.
You get the feeling that if she were to choose to lie right now, it'd be a very bad choice.
Okay.
She's not as smart as that. She hasn't thought that far ahead.
Sounds good to me. Do you want to pick a hiding place here or a bit closer to that spot?
There's a few places in the there's a few market stalls and corners that you can go and hide at.
Okay.
Don't forget.
How?
I'm well aware. Very well aware. Okay. She begins to walk forward and takes a left.
Yep, we follow.
When we get to hiding, I'll probably hide with Jotra. And then I want to send an ash to Laura.
So there's it's actually a 6-way crossroads. It kind of goes in every direction.
boy.
It's just as kind of barren as you've seen before. Violet turns around and says, okay, he comes from the northwest entrance. So I'm going to go ahead and stand here. And you can hide pretty much anywhere else, but don't pick that way.
Hey.
I guide a sleepy Jotra to a hiding place that's not northwest.
I find
I'll say-
I find a hiding place coming from a different direction.
Suku's gonna get on one of the roofs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just have to point out, I didn't get a chance to say that the way Cole said, I'm going to send an Ash to Laura, made Ash to Laura sound like a fucking lion. I'm going to send an Ash to Laura!
She
Ash to
Release
Laura.
the cat. Release the cats.
The cat's
The
in.
cat's some more!
I mean, Ash to Laura thinks she's a lion, so.
I'll say if
She
everybody
absolutely
wants to go
does.
ahead and roll stealth checks for me.
Oh
Long
I'm
and
not
fast
good.
is in
So my whole point about the plate mail is that I roll with disadvantage for a stealth check, just to be clear.
no. Can I? Is there any way I can help?
You
Ishtin?
do.
Kind of like.
Ishtin's, because you all decided to plan earlier, the DC is lowered. So
Okay.
Would have been a nat 20.
oh,
I got an 18.
12.
11.
8.
Ooh, 14.
we have a really stealthy
Ooh, Monk is the loud one.
Yeah.
I rolled low.
What? The mouth can't stealth?
Oh no, guys.
We'll go
Unless this
ahead
counts
and,
as rocky terrain, yeah, no.
No. You'll go ahead and take your places at this intersection.
Oh, God.
You're probably waiting about 5-10 minutes before you hear some rather heavy footsteps. You see, kind of swaggering down the northwest path, is a slightly plump, little bit short, ginger tabaxi. They are currently wearing like a blue suede suit that kind of looks like it's been like meticulously looked after, as they're kind of full on, arms up here, swaggering down, kind of moving left and right slightly as they go.
Oh my God, why?
Yeah, you see Violet kind of wave them down, and he goes ahead, stops, smiles, and bears these quite short fangs, actually. But this big grin comes across his face. He just goes, mm-hmm. Begins to swagger on by.
Ugh.
As he arrives, he kind of, under hushed breath, begins to talk with Violet. Ishtin and Soup, what are your passive insights?
Mm. 11.
9.
No.
Fighters!
Yes.
Something triggers in you both. Just this slightest thing in the back of your head of just, this doesn't seem right. As he's having a discussion with Violet.
I'm going to try to do what I did with Athenos before and speak to him silently. Something is wrong.
Do I hear that?
You get the sudden flare up in your head of just a little bit of confusion. You kind of try and shake it off. And as you kind of close your eyes and you kind of shake your head, it's murky and garbled, but you can definitely hear Ishton say something's up.
What's wrong? This seems to be going according to plan, right?
I do not know. I just feel it.
Okay, I'll see if I can do something about that.
Be careful.
I will.
As the tabaxi shows up, are they like in the middle of this crossroads? Are they by anything?
Yeah, they are dead center.
Heck. All right. Well,
How far away are they from us? Approximate.
I don't know, 15 foot maybe?
Okay,
like,
so
I would totally have Ashtalora act like an alley cat, but she has wings.
yeah.
You would know though, in Vacre, Tressim are relatively common.
Oh,
Like
okay.
mythical creatures like griffins and phoenixes are regular mounts in this world.
Okay.
So things like Tressim are literally cats, rats, dogs.
Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to snap my fingers, and in a little bit a ways from, like in another alley, I want her to go over there, and then I kind of just want her to act like she's like sniffing around for food and like doing that, and I want her to kind of get close to them and see if I can hear anything.
Okay. So as Ashtalora begins to make her way around.
Oh, and
Yeah.
I do the thing where I put my hand in.
Yeah. You can hear Violet actually speaking, saying, "Oh, I'm afraid the next delivery is going to be a little bit delayed. There was so much stuff that I'm not able to carry it by myself, and my partner has decided to." And
She's a terrible liar. That's what's wrong. She's so bad.
suddenly the tabaxi turns around and looks at Ashtalora. And you watch as his hair stands up on end, and he just goes, kind of stares, kind of trying to bear what little fangs he has.
Ashtalora is gonna, like act like she's sniffing when she looks up. She's gonna puff up and also hiss back before scampering off. And then I relay all that to Jotra quietly.
So,
begins to continue whispering under hushed tones. You watch as he actually begins to pull something from his bag.
I think this is when. Okay, so just in my hiding spot, you just see Athenos fixing his hair like, okay, showtime. And I want to come out and walk down as if I'm just walking down the street on one of the streets from the crossroad, and call out, "Jay, long time no see," as I walk down.
Oh boy.
His eyes turn directly to you, and this grin returns as he goes ahead and twirls a whisker. Just well, I'll be.
Oh boy, I really missed your voice.
Athenos here in the flesh.
Yeah, you're welcome. What are you doing here?
He goes ahead and like fixes his tie, pulls his waistcoat in a little bit. It's been a while.
Oh, been way too long. I really could not wait to meet you again.
I see. Although you know, it's Cadence.
Isn't that what I said?
Don't you get quippy with me. Kind of looks towards Violet. You didn't bring him here, did you? No, not at all. I have no idea. Who are you? What are you? I've never. And Cadence kind of pushes her, just like playfully, and just says, "No, you're just bringing friends. I get it. And what can Cadence do for you?"
Actually, I just wanted to ask. I just like gesture around. This place is a bit of a wreck, and apparently there was a bit of an attack, a bug attack last night. Heard that you might have something to do with it. Is that true?
Soup, roll a perception check.
Thank you. I was gonna say, I'm like,
Oh, no.
I'm looking for other people because this is obviously a distraction.
What do you mean a bug attack? Everywhere is a bug attack in
Yeah.
this godforsaken city.
Good point. Okay, I meant your friend here, and I gesture to Violet. Well, I was staying at her establishment and ended up getting attacked by some bugs after I squashed an egg.
Shouldn't have squashed the egg, should you?
It was from you, right? I'm not going to be mad. I know he wasn't aimed at me. I just need to make sure. Because I do need to know. If you're making profit from this, at least one in.
Kind of
Come on.
goes ahead and looks
friends.
at his claws and just says, I'm not exactly sure friends is the right word to use here.
Come
And
on, Jay.
as Cadence goes like that, Soup, you see two people on the rooftops pop upwards with crossbows, trailed down.
I immediately attack one of them as soon as I see them.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
Boy.
All right. Okay. How far away from me are they?
15, probably about 30, maybe a bit more.
Okay,
Easily within your range.
20.
20 will hit, definitely.
Okay. And that's gonna be 11 piercing damage.
11 piercing
Takes
damage.
crossbow.
Okay, yeah, 11 piercing damage. You go ahead and pull the crossbow up, you immediately fire, and you actually catch him as he's popping upwards. So just, shit! Just falls backwards off the roof. And everyone, you hear this, oh shit! And then 2 seconds later, boom. Wait a fucking minute. Athanos?
I am walking out now.
I mean,
Yeah, they all come out.
How tall
sorry,
are
I
the
brought
roofs?
some friends. You muted.
They're like it had to be someone. They're like three-story buildings, but like each story has a roof slightly stuck out, so they're relatively easily climbed. It's like a Prince of Persia style.
Okay.
Relatively easy to parkour across it.
Is the other guy on like one of the first levels where I could get 15 feet in and lightly lure him down?
Yeah, definitely.
He needs to make a DC 15 strength check. He takes 5 electric damage and is pulled 10 feet closer to me.
All right.
So
Go ahead and pull him off this roof. He takes a little bit of extra damage from the fall as well as he just. Nose!
You're gonna shoot my friend!
It's like the whiniest assassin ever.
Can I run up behind like where Jotra is and where this guy is and just kind of put my staff up to the back of his head and just don't move, lad. or else it's gonna be worse than just your nose.
Wait, who else is up there? I poke his nose.
I don't know. I think it's just the one other guy. And as he says that, the tabaxi is now kind of caught on, just looking around.
Yeah, I brought some friends too.
Yeah,
And- Oh, go on.
No, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, so as I was saying, I would like to know if you had anything to do with those eggs.
So this
Yes.
is when I'm walking out with my glaive pointed to him, saying, "Did you give us an excuse to kill you?" They weren't sure, but I was. So hopefully you did not give us an excuse to kill you, but if you give me one, I will do it. Answer the question.
As soon as you brandish your glaive, Violet takes 3 steps back and just stands
Don't
there like
go away, Violet.
she takes 3 steps back and then just kind of
Is Ishton approaching him from like the front?
If he was facing where
I
I
would
was.
assume so.
Yeah,
I'd assume, yeah.
Okay, because I want him to feel the tip of a scimitar center of his back.
Yeah. He kind of
I would listen to her if I... Oh my god, all the accents are fucking me up so bad. I would listen to her if I were you.
awfully chilly. All right, Athy. You got my attention.
Oh, don't call him that again. I don't like that. Don't call him that again. No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better
I
than
put
what
my
some of
glaive
the
at
other
his
people
neck.
call you, so
Oh,
Fair-
I'm going
fair
to
enough.
draw just a little bit of blood. Just a little, just a drop,
where?
the neck.
Just,
Right. What is his name? Would you say it again, please?
They ferret.
Oh my god.
No.
Your legacy lives on.
Damn it.
Oh, man.
Lives.
All right. Kind of puts his little stubby kind of hands up. Just all right. Athanos.
That's better. It sounds a lot. It like rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Doesn't
No.
it, Jay?
Like that was an actual like you watch his entire chest just.
So, again, did you have anything to do with those eggs? I kind of lied a little bit. I wasn't attacked by these bug things. My friend here, and I point at Ishton, was. And we just like to know if you had anything to do with it. If you did, you might have to. Ishton, you called it justice, right?
Justice, yes.
Exactly.
You can't blame me for trying to make a profit.
At the expense of other people, of course. No one can blame you for that.
I could.
Jam
You
the
suck.
scimitar a little bit, like poke him with it.
Honey, we're pirates. It's literally in the job
Did
description.
you just? I'm so sorry. Did you just call her honey?
It's a figure of speech.
Oh yes.
Atlas-
I'm going to knock him on the ground.
I was just
Yeah.
there like, oh god. Oh god, he's...
God, you just keep on making mistakes now, don't ya?
Goes
Aaron
ahead, you
gives
just hear the
Ishton-
thunk as he hits the ground. Just, oh.
I look up at Aridin. I don't like it when he calls you honey. And I
I
stop.
also don't. And she
Alright.
gives you a toothy smile. I would like to wager that Aridin's fangs might be a little bit pointier than this guy's.
Yeah. So this guy, like,
Absolutely.
he has like his incisors are just the tiniest bit longer than a human's. He's got like the littlest little kitty fangs ever.
Oh god.
Aridin will give him a not so sweet smile with much pointier fangs.
I'm gonna sit down like on the ground, just cross my legs on the ground in front of him. So, little thing, we we just want to know, because either way, I think, and I look around at the fallen assassins, either way, we're going to hurt you quite a bit. So I think it'd just be better for you to give us a reason maybe not to, or at least hold up a little bit by telling us exactly where you're getting these eggs from, and whether you knew that Violet over here was using them to kill.
I'm just here making a profit. I knew that something was going on, and there was the infestation on the other side. And well, some of us up in the sky den, we thought we'd make a profit. So we grabbed the only thing we could, and that was the eggs. And then it turns out that they really like their eggs exactly where they left them. Didn't work out well for for some of my friends, but that's okay. And well, Athenos, we came to an agreement
To sell them. I just want to make it clear, you sold them without knowing, or did you know she was killing people with them?
Well, we knew she was using them for something. I mean, we know she was using them for bait, but Violet kind of pipes up, just, no, you didn't know anything about that, and I was just trying to, well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what you were trying to do.
You
I
knew
just
she
don't
was not
give a
making
damn.
omelettes.
Oh,
I
God,
just don't
Dad,
give a damn. I'm just in it for the money.
I just look at Ishton.
Yes,
What do you think?
I think he has other information to give us. Yes,
Yes.
and then we are done with him.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up to everyone else. Do you mind letting us have a moment with this guy? It's
Sure, and
personal.
Poof, knock the other dude out.
And he's, the entire time, he's just been like, oh, I was voted the prettiest in my school. I can't believe it. Oh,
What?
Oh, God.
I was
Oh,
going to use
God.
the money to go get a shoot to be a model. Not straight out.
Oh, God.
Is the other one? Was he unconscious as soon as he hit?
He's on the other side of the building right now. He fell where he popped up and over, was struck by Soup, and immediately fell backwards.
Oh,
So you might occasionally just hit. My leg! Just like that's all you're hearing just from the
You
other
SpongeBob.
side of the building right now.
Soup.
Bunch of knuckleheads.
I don't think they want that guy to hear it, and I got Violet because Violet will do what I say, right, Violet?
Yeah.
This
And then
way.
Cadence just kind of says, "Oh, she doesn't seem smart enough to actually know what's going on, apparently. So go ahead."
Oh, I don't need your permission. None of us need your permission for anything. You're misreading the situation. You are in very grave danger and very likely not going to come out of this with all of your parts if you come out of this. So maybe drop the bravado and help out with what they would need, because I don't want to come back to see. Well, you know what? Maybe with you it'd be okay. And then he just leads her away.
Jotra, that was good. Good job.
Well, I don't really
He
think
kind of
you
looks
to
back. He gives
trust
you just
me.
like, and then when he like tries to like hide it a little bit.
No, trust me. I saw one of them punch through and the car, and you don't want to fuck with these guys.
Oh yeah, I
And
have
Violet's
these.
just kind of like,
And
no.
I pull out the eggs. I could leave you with one.
Cadence kind of laughs and just, I got a whole bag of them right here.
Okay,
that I
so
was
we
gonna
know how to
sell
break
to
them
Violet.
open and leave you tagged. Okay, cool.
Yes.
He puts it back.
You'd be in graver danger than I would be.
No,
I
we
don't
have
think so.
weapons, and your legs would be broken when they got here.
They're already stubby enough.
He really makes making fun of him hard when he just does it to himself.
No, it
Takes
doesn't.
the fun
You're a
out of it.
fat, awful, short-toothed bastard. See, it's easy. You killed people for no reason other than money, which you already had plenty of if you lived in the Sky Den. You have no regard for anything, and you are just... There's a reason I'm learning about people like you because of people like you. Get your shit
Surprised you're
together.
Standing up straight with your chip on your shoulder.
Oh,
He goes
I'm
ahead
s-
and kind of begins to pick at his little teeth a little bit with his claw.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
look.
just.
so Jotra kind of now at this point walks directly up to him. So about him down is probably me fully standing, and then he takes a rock and he's really mad now and he drags it across his gauntlet. He's like, "Do you know what this is? It's magical rocks. Do you know what they do? They explode. Do you know what happens if one's in your mouth?
Athenos is like,
Here, this is for you,
Oh, shit.
Athenos. There's one for him. This one's for you, Ishton. And that one's for you. And this one's for me. You're not brave. You're an asshole. All of this, you're not making yourself look better. You're not saving face. We all know you're the worst kind of person. You're not making anybody laugh. You're the worst. You had nothing to gain but more with what you already had, and people died for it. You murdered people, and now I'm okay with what happens to you. I've changed because of you and the people like you, and I don't like that. So maybe I'll need some revenge too, but I'm gonna let it go because that's the kind of person I am. They won't. And he walks.
I just look at the magic rock like under my breath, like, I mean, it was good, but I could do more damage with my gun.
Let them have the moment. Let them have the moment.
All right, so
Aridin smiles and takes up after Jotra, but as she's walking away, her tail flicks out and gives a cat person a swack.
well, that was pretty.
When you look up,
Also
Soup is
rude.
on the roof doing his moves again.
Yes.
Oh god, I love Soup. So is
All
Oren
right,
still
so
is Oren still around? Or is he?
Yeah, no, I'm just standing over the one first goon's body.
Okay.
Out of earshot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I'm sitting on the ground. I think so. What is Jay on his on the ground right now?
he's
yeah,
on his butt.
Yeah. So I'm
Ishton
sitting in
just
front
kind
of
of.
him. So I'm sitting on the ground in front of him, like legs crossed. I take my pistol out and just place it in between us. So Jay, honestly, I'm here in the flesh, and it's honestly for one main reason. Remember years ago, that mission your crew and mine did. It did not turn out well. But after we went to the Sky Den to drink, we drank all night. I nearly passed the fuck out. You did pass the fuck out. But before that, you told me a story. I can't remember it for the life of me because, again, like I said, I was fucking wasted. The drinks in the Sky Den are great, and I need to go there again after this.
Oh, they
But-
are.
Yeah. But I need you to remind me of that story. The story of someone who was marked and then wasn't. I need you to tell me that story, and I need the details.
Yeah, I remember that night. Speaking of which, as another smile that kind of crawls across his face. How's your crew?
I am gonna put my foot on his shoulder and cut a big long stripe on his face with the hook end of my glaive. Shut up and answer the question.
Ah!
Well, answer the question. Don't actually shut up, and you could not do that. But answer the question and shut up about other things.
Oh, God! Manners!
I spit on him. I have terrible manners. You can ask anyone.
Holy shit.
Delightful. All right. I get it. Touchy subject. That's fine. All right. You want to know the story, huh?
Yeah.
Not much to tell. An old An old sea tale, old sea legend. Someone committed some kind of crime so heinous that, well, the Magicanum came for him. And well, you know how that goes. He was reset. He was marked. Everyone knew it. And then suddenly, Jesus. Suddenly, he came back into a town one day with a brand new haul. And no one felt him. Nothing. Nada. No one knew. And of course, this got some people's attention. Started going around, being an idiot, bragging. That you do. You know how it is. Gotta adjusts his tie again. It's like some blood has begun to drip across his suit. He's just, hope you're paying for my dry cleaning, Athanos. Kind of pulls
barely
the
fits
coat
you.
forward. Hey! Someone paid good money for this.
Talking.
Stretches a little bit. Ugh. I mean, I know where the guy lives now, if that helps you.
Yes.
He's actually
it
part of the
does.
military now, believe it or not. Went from pirate life to something a little bit more straight and narrow, as he used to say. Well, he's currently in the town across dealing with the whatever situation is going on over there with the merchants.
What town?
Yelton, across the border. The big wall thing. You seen it? You not seen it?
Yes. We have
Yeah.
seen.
I think he's I don't know. He's kind of a big shot over there now.
What is his name?
That would probably be an important piece of information to tell you, huh?
Yeah, I would.
All right. Clinken.
Clinken.
Clinken. Or at least, that's the name he went by when he was on the sea. He thought it was some kind of joke, I think.
Do you know where he went when he got that mark removed? Do you know anything about how he did it?
Unfortunately, he was wasted at the time, so I can't take anything really with an exact. I know that he was on the ocean for a while, and then he came back and he was fine. Probably got into some trouble, I don't know.
And Athnos just leans back. Clinken, do you have a description? What it looks like? Elf,
Oh,
gnome, dwarf.
Warforged. Third generation.
Warforged.
One of
Okay.
the human-y ones, you know? The ones that can, like, you know, talk and think and figure themselves out and use magic and all that fancy stuff.
It's a little obvious that he could use magic and talk. I mean, that would not make any sense if he could not. What a silly story that would be.
All right. You asked me for details. I'm giving you details. And all of a sudden, now I'm giving too many details.
No, give more.
Wipes away the wound again. Just, that thing is nasty. I know that he's currently in the military. He's warforged. He'll probably be one of the few actual, you know, leading people there. I don't know how high up he is. All I know is that he's got a decent reputation for being interesting, breaking rules, that kind of thing.
Breaking rules.
Yeah. He's a bit of a goody-goody in all the right ways and all the wrong ways.
So, like a maverick.
He made a good pirate. And he made a lot of friends, so...
Does he have anyone who is important to him? Any family?
Warforged don't really have families.
This is not true. They have hearts too.
True, but they have people they get close to. I wouldn't say families. I'd
Oh.
probably say perhaps his crewmates.
You
It's
do
probably the
not
closest you're gonna get.
You do not understand what a family is, I see. How sad for you. Now, do you have anything else to say that we could use?
I mean, that's all I can think of with the story. Apart from I can't remember the rest of the night. I have no idea how I got home. Did I get home?
I don't
Nothing
think you
else. Did I get home?
No, like I said, you passed the fuck out.
Ah, that's a shame.
That's so funny. Do we kill him now?
No, so the whole time, like I thought it was like oddly quiet, just tapping a finger against the ground. And after Jace finished, I thought he's gonna punch him in the face. And just good knock to the nose, so it knocks his head back, and then when he brings his head forward again, my pistol is pressed against his forehead. And
Oh, okay, that's cold. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So you mentioned my crew. What do you know?
I was actually hoping you could tell me what you know. And then his head as his head moves, your pistol is so kind of like firm that it trails with him. He's like, do any of you guys know? You want to fill this guy in? So he's calling out to everybody else.
Why do you want to know about my crew?
Because everyone in this town is a bit loopy.
What exactly does that mean, and what does that have to do with my crew?
Kind of, his eyes trail to the sides. As he just... A little birdie told me that a ship went missing recently. And nobody in this town seems to know anything about it. And this isn't the first time. I've had good friends on 2 other ships over the last few weeks that have just vanished. One of them more of an acquaintance to make me money, but the other person was actually a legitimate friend. There's a lot of my old crew that I now can't account for. So, I was kind of hoping you would know some things so that I can go ahead and get that business started, and then I can,
I just breathe a sigh and just lower my gun. I don't know what is going on about that, but that's none of my business. Now, I've got what I need from you, and honestly, before I was hesitant about putting a bullet in your head. Now, I really, really want to. So I'm just going to give you one chance to, convince Ishin and I to just maim you instead of kill you.
That's an interesting offer. All right. And your friends would be okay with this?
Is that loud enough?
They
that
aren't
we can
right here, are they?
Oh, yeah.
Are they?
Loud.
They could not get here in time.
Use the stones.
She scares the shite out of me. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
All right. You know that I don't exactly care about people. But our crews, they're people we end up making attachments to. You leave me alive, I use the money I have to send some feelers out. See what I can dig up.
I very visibly soften and look up to Ishtin. He could help.
Do you believe that he will?
He's an arsehole and he tries to make money any way he can. But yes, I have worked with him before and he had no reason to keep my crew safe, but he did.
If you want to let him free so that he can help find your crew, I will not say anything against it.
I just nod and stand up again. You better use all of your money to find them.
And for a second, the bravado drops as he kind of pulls himself upwards slowly, straightens his tie again, pulls up his waistcoat, and just says, "On a pirate's honor, I'll do what I can."
I look at Athenos to try to understand if on a pirate's honor freaking means anything. Like, what the? Huh?
Like thieves' honor?
Athenos, you just see Athenos nods and it's not a playful punch at all. It's definitely a punch to hurt him, but he while he punches him in the shoulders pirate's honor. He pulls out his pistol again and he kind of starts breaking it apart, but he only takes off the tip and he unscrews it, and it's actually a ring, and he shows it to Jay. I need you, if you hit anyone that has a ring like this, wearing on their finger, around their neck, whatever, let me know. Remember what this ring looks like.
Weird request, but all right. I'll see what I can do.
Thanks. And he screws it back onto the tip of his pistol and holsters his gun.
And as this is going on, Jotra, Oren, Ishtin, Soup, what are we doing?
Do you mean Aridin?
Yes, Aridin.
Okay, you said Ishtin. I was like,
I said Ishtin.
We a bonding. We bonded,
Ishtin,
and now we're
Aridin,
like,
yes.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Look, I'm
Leave me
Peppery,
alone. I'm
she's new.
infected and drowsy.
I was just sitting there like, where did I go?
Let's go to Jotra and Aridin first.
I'll be constantly looking around to see if there's anybody else coming. And then he looks like super worried, and he's just kind of looking around. He has one magic stone left, and after the minute wears off and the rest go unmagical, he just scrapes it again, almost like a tick. Like the instant you see it starts to glow, starts to lose the glow. He has it perfectly mentally timed, so he's like. Shh. Is it like a gang? Huh. Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
This is a lot to take in.
But I best part about not knowing anything is knowing that you don't have to worry about what you know is wrong. So I'm just trying to adapt. For now, I've decided that's going to be the best thing to learn. And so I've decided to just treat all of this as a learning experience to find out about the parts of the world I don't know. So I'm okay. I feel very behind for the first time.
I think this is very different to anything that we'd encountered over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, you sticking to your values, that's really brave. And I'm not saying that Athenos and Ishtan's way is wrong, because obviously their lives are very different, and that's okay. But you know who you are, and you will continue to learn and grow.
Yeah, it's just I don't have enough information and things like this, so I have to kind of gather some more information. Because the thing about values is they should be shaped by the way you see the world, and if you refuse to see the world any differently, then they'll be wrong, and I don't want to be wrong. So I gotta gather more information and kind of evolve them if they need evolving, because if it's not accurate, and then it's worthless. So I need to make sure it's accurate, that's all.
Remember that the way that we are, people in general, I had to learn this over the course of a month, but it's okay to be wrong.
Oh yeah, no, I've learned that rather rapidly. It's better to be wrong and then corrected than arrogantly right and still wrong. Then you don't learn. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we hear anyone coming?
There's no one else apart from the rest of your party so far. You can still see Soup practicing his moves up the top of the
I kind of want to look over up at Soup, and I don't know if he sees me, but I kind of want to draw a little rune in the air and cast just like, what do I have? I don't know, minor illusion or something stupid. And I'll do like a hand flourish at him.
Just like a guided chi thing, so we can follow the movement.
Yeah, he like is trying to balance on this rooftop while he's like doing these moves, and he looks down and he's like, falling off. And he falls off.
Remember what I said about making mistakes. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm just like I immediately like take my blade and I start like nervously like twisting it around, like muscle memory. Just
Where did you learn that song?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
It sort of just happened.
It was pretty, but haunting at the same time. I liked it.
It's tied to the sword, apparently. And I'll like take my hand and like go over the blade, and like all the runes appear on it, and then they disappear again.
Oh. I'm gonna have to write those down. Those are cool. I mean, so Richard like starts, gets out his book, remembers where he's at, closes the book, picks back up the stone, and starts looking around again.
Aaron, as you're kind of nervously twisting the blade around, you're still scanning the surroundings as you're looking out for other people. Your eyes trail across the individual that Oren knocked out. Your eyes just stay for a second longer than you think they should. And I need you to make a wisdom save.
Oh, this is awful. That is garbage. It's a +5. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
For a split second as you look, as I say, your eyes get caught for just a moment. You blink, and you see this gold-skinned tiefling with broken wings splayed out, lying on the ground in exactly the same position. You blink again, and the image vanishes. You see just the leather-clad gentleman that was knocked out by Oren beforehand. And as that happens, Oren, what are we up to?
Shite.
He's kind of looking around to make sure that there's nobody around. And then once he kind of feels secure, just kind of sits at the base of like where this guy is laying down, just kind of right by his head, with his head just kind of not in his lap, but in front of his lap, and sits with his quarterstaff on his lap and just kind of ohms, eyes open, keeping an eye out, but just chilling, meditating, and just feeling the universe.
And you and Soup would be the first people to see Athenos and Ishton finish up with Cadence.
After Soup catches himself falling off the roof, he
Yes, I forgot that important detail.
he drops down and comes up to Ishton and Athenos.
And we still have him with us, the cat. We haven't let him go.
Yeah, we
yet.
didn't let him go.
Yeah.
I think when I see Soup come in, I definitely straighten up again, fix the hair again, just try and look like nothing overly emotional just happened.
Are we
Orin will
killing him or
approach.
what?
We have use of him.
Yeah.
Stand up, small-fanged one.
Well, I see since there's not a cat in a pool of blood that he's on your good side then.
I would not say that.
Good
And I'm-
sign.
I'm gonna take the hook again, and I'm gonna get the other side of his face in as
Ah!
parallel a way as possible.
Come on, tell me what. Okay, yeah, I deserve that.
I don't want you to forget what you have agreed to.
That's kind of hard to, because I feel like you're just gonna go ahead and kill me if I didn't.
You are not wrong.
He ain't got a good side.
Cadence Two Scars. It's not the worst nickname I've ever heard. I was hoping it was going to be Two Tails, but I guess you have something more to give. Because they were going to split your tail in half. That was the threat.
I understood.
No, I got
It's
it.
good. I thought
Oh,
it was
good.
good.
Yeah, good. Because
Yeah, I got it. Well, thank you. And his head turns towards Violet. So much for this meeting. I really appreciate it. You can go ahead and he goes ahead and unlatches his bag and kind of throws the eggs to the ground. There's 4 of them in there. Deal with them what you will. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get these looked to.
where's the rest of them?
Yeah, where are
Oh.
you getting them from?
A couple of the other folks in the Sky Den decided to volunteer themselves or to help curb the infestation over the border, which is where they're coming from. So, rest of the city's in isolation and the upper levels have been cordoned off. So we thought we'd go ahead and assist where we could in order to make a quick buck.
Okay.
There,
So they're across the border. The barrier that's been made.
or in a wagon there.
What was that? Sorry.
Or in a wagon kind of headed that way.
Wagons are too easy. By the border, I mean the border that's been made in town, not the
Oh.
not
The
the other
barrier.
one.
Yeah.
If we hear,
Yeah. The quarantine zone.
if we hear, even the tiniest whiff, that anything like what was happening at that inn is happening anywhere else here, we will come back and find you and end you, even if it is not you. So you should very much make sure that no one else does what you have been doing. Do you understand?
I don't doubt you. Yeah, I'll chat to some of the other folks if they survive, and make sure we're all good. His eyes turn to daggers as they look towards Violet. Just says, "Thanks for your custom." Goes ahead and pulls a little pouch from his belt, just a little leather pouch, and throws it to the ground. For the inconvenience to the passionate one. He goes ahead and tries to make himself look as good as possible and try and sort out his fur and wipe away what blood he can. He looks down and kind of visibly sighs as he can see the blood trails going across his suit. Just
Hey, fancy cat.
hmm?
You're welcome. You ain't gotta pay them fellers no more.
And he points at the two assassins.
I guess that's a way of looking at it.
Just try to pay Ishton for.
Just don't worry. Don't worry. Here's money.
Well, I've got work to do.
Don't
Today.
forget.
He kind of
Where will we find you to check in on your work?
Oh, I pretty much just hang around the Sky Den, so when that's opened back up, you can just come up there and take a look. I pay people to do my work now.
All right. What an amazing pirate you are, so far from the sea. And look, now you have blood elsewhere than just on your hands, so you are welcome for that too. Now leave.
All right. just kind of okay. Goes ahead and his saunter away is visibly less excited and less dramatic as his saunter towards you. Definitely a little bit more hurried as he's kind of plodding away.
Oh boy, that was. God, I hate his voice. I forgot how much I hated his voice.
Or coffee.
Know him?
Yeah. Yeah, we worked together at some point. It did not go well. It really did not.
Can't say I'm surprised.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised. They work together. Not that bad.
Oh,
Yeah, surprised at that. Not if he was there. I'm sure that it was.
yeah. Sometimes you need the sleazy kind. This is. Yeah.
He's doing something good for you guys, though.
Yes, very important. And she looks at Athenos when she says that.
I think. Yeah, he just
Super
nods.
quick is gonna go, like while everybody's talking, he's gonna like saunter off and he's gonna go finish off the two assassins, and take his bolt back out of the guy's shoulder.
One of them is already knocked clean out, so that's pretty easy. As you go around the as you go around the other side, you can see that the one that fell off the building is actually bled out at this point. So again, you can go ahead and pull the bolt out.
Go around the corner.
And you can immediately tell these guys are probably cheap hires, let's say. They don't look to be relatively well armed or armored. It seems more of a scare tactic than anything else.
They seemed so seasoned and skilled.
Josh is actually going to miss Soup doing that. He's going to open up and he's going to start writing the runes that he saw on the sword. So he'll be like walking and writing and he won't even notice at all.
Aridin will definitely notice, like, you looking at her sword. So she'll kind of subtly, like, she doesn't want to be like, oh, here, look. But, like, she'll pull it out and, like, have the runes sort of glowing so you can see them.
He gets caught for a second and he looks over. Oh, and he keeps going.
And what you would find is incredibly interesting is the runes are almost written in arcane cursive. No rune stops and no rune starts. They are all just joined up, and as soon as one rune is finished, there's multiple tethers to the next rune that create this, and it all kind of begins to ebb and weave and flow through.
No, you...
Jack, were you about to say you were going to do something? I feel like I interrupted you earlier.
Oh, no.
All right. So we're all in the middle of this crossroads. You've dealt with Cadence, you have the information you have, and Violet is bricking it.
We take her back and tell her people now.
I think that's a good idea.
He's yours. So whatever you think.
Yeah.
Violet,
if-
did you hear that? You are mine. Come here.
Oh, good.
Oh, the dock is waiting.
Great. Hey, other duck.
Hi.
Thanks for the raid.
Woo.
Yeah, she kind of very slowly comes towards you, Ishton. Just. Okay, so can we just get this over with, please?
Oh yes, so now is the time when we are going to take you door to door to door, and you are going to tell all of your neighbors what you are doing.
That's going to be pretty quick. All of the buildings are empty.
Oh, so all the people who were in your bar the night before, they are all gone.
Oh, they will probably be towards the front at the rest of the inns where everyone is gathered.
All right, well, maybe we should just kill her then. I'm okay with this.
I mean, it would be faster just to send it to the front. If everyone is in those inns at the front.
I was
So you
going to
just
say,
have a
I think
little
everyone should
presentation.
definitely know.
We
Let us
could.
do this.
There's a thing called the stocks where we could write what she did and leave her. Any passerby would know what she did, and eventually a crowd gathers. It's not, killing her, but it would eventually, hopefully, lead to something. I mean, there'd probably be a trial, or do they do trials here?
Yes, they do. They are not very useful.
Well, never mind. That's a bad idea.
Athenos, you say she can go announce what she has done, and
Yeah.
then we can do what we need to with her. Yes?
Yeah, sounds good to me. If everyone's in the few inns at the front of the town, that's less houses to go to. You can just go to the couple that they're in. So it'll be just a more efficient version of what we plan to do anyway.
Perfect.
All right, everyone on board? Everyone following?
Let's
Alrighty.
go to town.
Paranoidly checking around behind. I was expecting like an entire. Jocho was expecting like an entire like mafia, and so he just cannot let that idea go.
I noticed how jumpy Jojo is.
Yes,
Not his
more than
fault.
likely.
Soup is definitely gonna like toy with Jotra a little bit. And just like throw small rocks and like make little noises here and there, and then like
Oh my
sneak up and
God.
tap on his shoulder and be on the other side. Like just keeps messing with him.
Did you see? I have a passive
Jump,
perception of
boy.
9. It's real easy. Okay. Did anybody else see or do anything?
Orin will walk up to Jotra and just kind of tap him, and she's like, "You know, lad, that guy with small potatoes, he ain't got anybody else. It's all right. We're fine now."
Just like eggs, and he had like a network, and he said he would send people places.
He's full of shite.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's sure. Okay.
When you don't have anything impressive about you, you talk a lot. Trust me, I know.
Would I talk? Oh.
Oh no!
I want Athenos to hear that, and he's just gonna laugh. He just absolutely laughs at that.
Oh my god.
You see, Jotra actually kind of smiles back. He's like,
Oh my gosh.
You're a good man.
"Oh, thank you. You too."
That was it. Go ahead.
No.
At some point along the way, if I get the chance to say something very quietly to Athenos, just when you are ready, huntmate, you will tell me about this ring of yours? Yes?
I'll tell you about it.
I will be waiting.
All right. as you make your way back, the first inn you probably would get to is the one that you actually stayed at. And as you walk in past the doors, immediately everyone inside who have now been grouped up by Torn, their heads immediately swivel your direction. And Violet immediately goes, hello, and you hear the clunk of plate mail as Torn steps forward and just says, oh, they already know.
Oh boy.
He goes ahead and kind of, with his longsword, he pulls it forwards, points towards Violet, and just says, you know, any of these people could make it easy. But he goes ahead and kind of points the longsword backwards, and as he does so, he grabs her by the arm and just pulls her past you folks, past him, and just throws her back, kind of, so that she's facing the crowd. He points towards you guys and sheathes his blade. Is he just not dead? That's a good thing.
We got what we needed.
Yeah.
These things should be done to tell the people. This should be done. You should not be afraid again of eggs being where they should not be because of human hands.
And the crowd that is still paying attention to you kind of begins to mutter and they begin to nod. And there is a large section of the crowd that is currently essentially just daggers at Violet currently, as she's attempting to very softly kind of explain herself, and it's very clearly not going well.
Ishton, do you have that list?
No one gave me the list. Did you get that? I did not have.
Oh,
somebody found the list.
Athanos, you grab that list?
The list of people
Yeah.
who.
Hold on,
Yes.
hold on. And I go through the pouch. I probably like drop a few bullets by accident because he only has one pouch. He just put bullets. And he pulls out the list and just hands it over. He hands it over.
Somebody should read it out.
I can.
Let's make her read it out.
I like this.
Torn kind of steps forward and just says, "Yeah, just hand it over here. We can go ahead and give it to her." Oh, and as he hands it, kind of as he takes it and hands it backwards towards Violet, he just goes, "Go on. I'll be listening." Celine, the local weaver, she has volunteered to put you up for the night.
What time is
That'd be
it?
appreciated.
It's still morning, afternoon, right?
It is still morning, yeah.
Yeah.
He just says, so whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, you can come back, and he actually points outside the window. He just goes, it's the pink bricked house there. Plenty of space for all of you.
Is there anywhere
Thank
to, like a smith or anything that's still open, or if not abandoned, that I have an idea.
Kind of turns as his peripheral iris looks backwards. And you see at the very back of the room, there is a kind of this dark-skinned tiefling that kind of nods. And someone says, you can go ahead and use the supplies.
Thank you.
We've chatted.
I don't want to be here for this, but and he takes out the bottle of Siren's Tear. He pours just a little bit in a cup and he hands it to Torn, just in case and he hands it, and then he is going to go outside to see if he can find the blacksmith.
The sentiment is appreciated. He nods and turns to the rest of you as he says, probably best if the rest of you get on with some things as well.
Yeah, I look over to Orin and Soup, because I assume Ishton's gonna do her thing.
I'm going to at least wait. Yes.
Yes. But yeah, I turn to Orin and Soup and I gesture after Jotra. Staying, going.
No, I'll come with you. Sure, why not?
Soup just little waddles over to you.
I love it. And then, yeah, we follow Jotra. Give Athenos and Ishton there.
As Athenos and Ishton wait just for a little while, the crowd kind of falls silent, and you do hear the paper being pulled out as Violet begins reading names from the list. You can hear some people getting angry, you hear some people getting upset, and it's the atmosphere is beginning to build of this just how dare you kind of thing. And you can kind of see that what you're looking for is probably going to one way or another is going to happen, and that justice will be served one way or another.
I think that Ishton would wait and make sure. And that doesn't need to be, that can be very veiled. But she would wait and make sure.
Yeah, I would go ahead and veil it. Definitely. Yeah. So you two go ahead and wait, and Torn is there with you as well. He's kind of standing a little bit closer to Violet and just making sure that she doesn't bolt, essentially. And yeah, sure enough, the crowd get mad. Justice is served, so to speak. And as everyone begins to calm down, people are taking the time to try and pass that initial mourning, and you can see how what once was a group of people in a room is now suddenly a community, as you see friends and compatriots and family members begin to comfort each other. And you suddenly hear the sound of a small child beginning to hum along to a tune as their voice is nervous and crackly and croaking. And someone else joins in. Someone else joins in. And suddenly there's a little bit of laughter. There's some smiles that begin to break across the crowd through the tears as this almost pub-like mentality comes across this little children's rhyme. And what once was a few people now becomes this crowd just tapping each other and hugging each other and laughing and attempting to find that peace within themselves as this song rings out through the city.
I would leave while things get squishy.
Squishy, I like that. Okay, you and Athenos take your leave. We'll flick over to Jotra real quick. What are you up to, good sir?
So Jotra, like as he starts to leave, he hears other people following, but he just kind of keeps moving forward. And as he does, he pulls out his notebook and he pulls out something he's been working for a while. So he's about 3/4 of the book, and he goes back to like somewhere near the beginning, and he starts taking, and then he looks at the runes in cursive that he's just learned. He's like, okay, hey, and he starts to like just kind of like writing over this old design that he had. He takes out a small piece of super thin paper and puts it over the top, and then writes adjustments to it, and then kind of folds it flat over it to make sure that it's exactly where it should be. And he's like, okay, it could work. God, it could work. And he's gonna keep like kind of working on that until he finds him, and then he's gonna look around, see if he can find the blacksmith shop. If there's a sign he easily finds, he's just gonna head straight towards it. He's gonna, as he walks up, he goes to push open the door, then he stops for a second and he knocks, expecting no answer, and then if there's no answer, he lets himself in. And then,
no answer.
And he's going to scour the area. He's gonna be looking for like steel, especially if there's any that's already been flattened, and he's going to get out his magic inking set, and he's going to kind of like fold it out, and then he's going to look over and grab the smith's tools, and he's going to start heating and banging away, flattening out things to try to. At first, it looks like he might be making a large shield, and then he's going to just start shaping and go to work on this new invention of his. And he is, the entire time, he's so entirely focused that he is not talking at all. He's not mumbling to himself. He's not doing anything. He's just moving, and anybody watching, if they came with him, would see him. There's no hesitation in his movements like usual. There's no nervousness. There's no nothing. It's just quick, decisive movements, and then decisive time, and then he'll look over, and then he'll start to inscribe the inside of it as he's going. Pretty soon he's gathered them all together, and pretty quickly, sooner than you think would be reasonable for somebody his size, he has a pretty good sized turtle shell made out of steel. And as he looks at it, he's like, and then he reaches over and he starts to polish it, shining like it's going to be chrome. And that's what he'll be working on for quite a bit. And he's going to take just as long as time will let him to finish this project.
And as long as nothing and no one interrupts you, you can definitely get it done and dusted. Everybody else who was following Jotra, you actually catch him kind of partway through banging out this piece of metal as you begin to step forward. Oren, you feel a strange sensation come over you. For just a moment. A familiar one. As your hand instinctively, slowly comes across your pocket and then leaves again. And you it's discreet enough that you can kind of step back for a second, and no one's passive perception is high enough to catch this, thankfully. But yeah, it's a familiar sensation that comes over you.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of just ease back from the group and reach into my pocket and kind of pull out this small cone and hold it very close to my chest. And I'm gonna smile at it and say, "What's going on now, love?"
And as you go ahead and kind of stroke across it with your thumb, where there was one word engraved, there is now two. And I'll go ahead and send that to you.
Secrets. I love secrets. I live on secrets.
No.
It depends on what it says, if I'm smiling or if I'm shocked. I don't know yet.
I'll send it over the chat privately.
Right.
Yeah. So you folks have some time to do whatever you'd like. Jotra is currently working on their little thing. So yeah, if anyone wants to pop in with anything before we kind of reach the end of Jotra's construction, then feel free.
No, I have something for when Jotra's done with. Not over. When Jotra's done with the construction.
Jotra is cancelled.
Okay.
I
didn't mean that.
No, I understand what you mean. Don't worry. Yeah.
I have something. Yeah. I think the moment we get out of the inn, I immediately go and sit I don't know, maybe just on the ground in to the corner of the alleyway or something by the inn. And I obviously call Ishton over. And I don't say anything, I just sit down and break apart my pistol. And so usually when I break it apart, I'm fairly quick to put it back together again. But this time I just let the pieces sit there, and then I point at each piece, and each of these are my crew. I lift the piece up maybe it's a spring or something, and then I turn it in the light slightly, and then you can see an etching of a name in it. I'm not good at thinking of names on this fly, so I'm just gonna think of one now.
Sarah.
Sarah, yeah, Sarah. And I place that down, and I pick up another one, and another one's this is Crew. His name was Crew, and it's Krour. We made fun of him a lot about that, and yeah, so I just keep going to each piece, listing of names, and you can see the names engraved into each piece. And then I get to the ring, which, if you saw how I broke his gun apart, it's like the very tip of his gun. And this one doesn't have a name on it, but when he holds it up, it says, "This is Dahlia, my captain." I told you about this before. I got this gun after the first mission I went on as the quartermaster of the ship. And on our first mission, we came across some pretty fucking great loot, which included 2 of these kind of rings. And because I and the Captain Dahlia, were highest ranking, we got first picking, and we both picked a ring. It just looks cool. So I thought I might as
That
well.
is the only reason why you want to wear a matching ring with your captain, because it looks cool.
Okay. Yeah. You know, he just sets it down again.
I do.
Yeah.
I tease. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But yeah, each of these pieces are my crew, and it's calming being able to keep them together. I break it apart to remember them and put it back together in the hope that I will be able to find something like them again.
Will you tell me stories? Tell me about that one. And I pick apart and point to it.
Do you remember that? Yeah, do you remember that no meter story? And then just fades it back.
And for as
Oh my
long as
God.
he'll tell stories, she'll keep pointing.
Aridin will notice that Jotra's like super in the zone, so she won't bother him or anything. I'm kind of picturing like the front of this. I don't know why my mind goes to Whiterun, where you first go to the blacksmith in Skyrim, but like they kind of have like that porch. I feel like I'm sitting on a stoop, and I pull out a different book out of my pack, and it's like a purplish black, and on the front there's a name scratched into it, but it's not in common. And I flip through it, and I'm working on spells that I probably used to know and don't anymore. And I stand up and I'm like, okay, and I'm like tracing this symbol in the air. And I'm like, and nothing happens. Okay, and I try again, and I'm just kind of working on that.
All right.
Soup goes into the basement to be away from everyone for a minute. And while he's by himself, he starts practicing the motions again. And he seems really excited. He's like, and something that happened on the roof happens again that scared him earlier. The tips of his claws light up as he's doing the motions, and he's watching. He's like tries to focus, and he casts prestidigitation. For the first time.
And what starts as a little spark from your claws, you kind of realize, step back for a second. You do it again. It works. You feel this kind of welling. Oh snap! You feel this. Oh gosh! And as you do so, you go ahead and get curious for a second. you go ahead and grab your pouch where you keep your bolts. There's a sudden spark. You feel that kind of, that kind of curious emotion come over you. And with that, you hit level 3.
I want to say, as I'm doing the rune, if anyone's watching me, I flicker for a second. I'm like, okay, I'm closer. And I do it again, and I cast Misty Step for the first time.
And as you blink, you come out of the blink to complete darkness.
Fucker.
You take a look around you for a moment and kind of, what was panic initially suddenly becomes calming and soothing. You look up and around, and you see the 2 moons to the left and to the right. They begin to glow with this energy. They suddenly grow wider, bigger, brighter before the vision vanishes. You find yourself a little bit further away from where you were, and you find yourself at level 3.
I'm glad you didn't dimension door me away. Thank you.
That was the end of Eridan's story.
I was going to say, I am not that cruel.
I know, but I didn't know where the heck you were going with that.
Oren.
Yes.
As you're fiddling around with this little relic in your hand, you go ahead and tuck it away. You get that same feeling come over you. And as you're looking around, and you're still with the rest of the gang as Jotra is working on this, right? You haven't walked away. Like, you take a step back to look at this.
I stepped back so I wasn't within earshot or anything, and kind of went so no one could really see me. And I figured that after I pulled out my little cone and then tucked it back, I just kind of sat down and started to meditate a little bit.
As you're sat down and you're meditating, you watch as Jotra walks over and begins to stoke the forge again, try and get this metal able to bend. And your trance is suddenly broken. You feel this wave come over you of just this strange, almost rediscovery of yourself. You go ahead and stick a hand out, just instinctively, still in this trance-like state. You go ahead and stick one hand out, and Jotra, you would see this as you begin to stoke the fire. Suddenly, the fire erupts and roars as this fireball manifests and launches itself from the fire. You watch as Oren just catches this fireball with his hand, pulls his fist closer as the fire begins to rage around it. And that's your level 3.
And the fire just gets sucked into my hand and up my arm, and all you see is the tree tattoo start to glow. And pulse, and then it fades.
Did you just make him catch a fireball?
Maybe.
I told you.
That was so cool!
There's gifts, lad. There's gifts.
It was so
There's
cool!
not to be afraid of.
Can you make it hotter again?
I don't know. Let me try.
I'm gonna try to work the bellows and then see if I can get it hotter.
He,
Keep working.
He kind of focuses again, and I'll cast Radiant Firebolt at the at the forge.
The heating metal inside.
Yeah, and instead, this time of seeing the bolt come out of the fireplace, instead it comes from Orin himself. How does the cast look like? Is it just
So it's like a building, like up like this, and then you see the tattoo again. It pulses, and then the orange just flows through his arm and then out his hand.
all right?
So cool.
Yes.
And
This is awesome.
It is so awesome.
Athanos and Ishton, as you're having this discussion and taking a look through, you're describing which part belongs to who, and giving a few stories. Athanos, your wrists begin to burn.
Oh no.
You pass it off for just a second, but then as you begin to look, they go from orange to red to white as they burn. Ishton, you're concerned, and you take a look over, and one of your wrists begins to burn as well.
Like I feel the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You take a look down, and a very similar Ouroboros begins to manifest through the pain on your hand
What?
for
Oh,
just a moment before it morphs into more of an Ouroboros, but a sea serpent rather than a snake itself. And both of you, through your minds, hear, I did not realize this space was shared. You mortals are curious.
I just looked at Ishtin.
yes.
Oh, fuck. We had a deal. Just me and you. Ishtin was not involved. Why? Why is she connected here? Why does she have the mark as well? I think this is in my head, so I'm just going to reply in my head.
Can I hear that?
Yeah. There's a moment of pause before you hear. My power. It grows. Yet it is eternal. I am on the same understanding as you.
Then why? Why does she have the mark? Why is she feeling the pain as well?
There's a telling silence.
You don't know either. Fuck.
You great powerful serpent, you have no idea what is happening with your own power? I do not want your power. Take it back.
And the
I
voice.
belong to the storm, not to you.
The voice fades as Ishton, your mark, also fades. And Athanos, your marks begin to calm down and cool.
It is gone.
And as Athanos, you look towards Ishton. Ishton, you notice for just a second that Athanos' eyes have changed to this molten red. Just for a moment. You suddenly feel this sense of defensiveness almost. As you look towards your arm, you realize, yeah, I belong to the storm. And I will use my power as best I can. And with that, you both hit level 3.
In the scariest possible way.
Yay!
That's on brand. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think Athenos, he's just silent and his hands are shaking as he just silently tries to put his gun back together.
I would try to pause him and grab his hands and just hold them and look him in the eyes and say, "It is okay. It will be okay."
It was fine when it was just me.
We share. You made that bargain with me. Sometimes it does strange things. But you are my huntmate, and I will share this with you gladly.
He doesn't say anything, he just...
She'll hold for just a few more seconds and then let go and let him continue putting the gun back.
And as this is going on, everyone is doing their own thing. It begins to kind of hit that point now, unless anyone has anything else to do. It is going to hit that point as it's just about to turn sundown. Jotra.
Okay, so if anybody's still around, you'll see Jotra. He's furiously been working this forge. It's starting to take shape as this kind of large metallic silvered turtle, and he's polishing it to a chrome. And you notice he's left one of the center like platelets and it's been kind of given a hinge and pulled up. And as he's looking around, he's thinking, and he goes over to his notebook and you see flips through it to like a closer page, and it's of the opal, and he's like, you know what? And you see he starts to take off his shoes, and as he pulls off his shoes, he pulls out a knife and he starts to cut into the heel of the shoes, and he pulls out 2 of the crystals from the floating ship, and he takes them out, and then he starts to run over, and he grabs some silvered wire, and he starts to kind of bind them together in this, and as they bind together, it almost looks weirdly enough like a heart. And he kind of like takes out some, he goes and he looks over and he finds some jeweler's tools, and he's like, and he starts to kind of like engrave some very small things into it. And as he's kind of working on this, he then, as the engraving goes through it, he runs over and he starts to like smooth it out, and he forms it all the way into like this kind of heart about that big. And so in his hands, it's probably about here. And then he's going to, as he kind of starts looping the wire around, and then he goes and he takes his brush set and he starts to paint some runes on it. And then as he does, he kind of once again puts it, this one though, he puts it between his hands, and see he closes his eyes. And as he closes his eyes, there's a small like flash of this like kind of small teal glow, almost similar to the way that the color of his eyes glowing. And then he goes over to the almost finished shape of this turtle, and he takes the bit down and he places it inside. And as he kind of like turns it and he gets a few last adjustments, he takes out his ink set and he just goes onto the lid that's of the one scale part that's lifted up. He starts sketching it again a little more, and then before he shuts it for who knows how long, he's going to write a name on the inside. It's going to say Pavasari. And then and take a deep breath. Is anybody Orin, are you still hanging out at the smith shop at that point?
Yeah, I'm gonna help you stoke the flame if you need it. So I'm just kind of watching this all happen.
So at the very end,
in awe, just like
That's what I was thinking.
his shoes still off. He hasn't thought to put them back on, so he's in his bare feet at this point. Or no, he'd be in his like little socks at this point. And he kind of takes, and he looks over and he's like okay. And then he shuts it. And then he kind of jumps off the back and he kind of goes over to the front of the face and he lifts the head and looks into the what are currently dark globes. He waits for a second. And then there's this small and the eyes glow the same color as Jotra's eyes as he's holding the head. It worked! Oh my god, it worked!
What by
Hi.
the gods have you done?
This is Pavasari!
Eridan's gonna run in.
I think he was loud enough that everyone would hear him say it worked.
From the other side of town.
Literally,
and also
yeah.
like, what?
What's going on?
I did it.
What is that?
It's a second one. Okay. Okay, the hummingbird was, while amazing, Calamosan has been a great companion, but I was thinking if I had some larger supplies and some time. Just, okay, this is Pavasari, and he kind of like climbs up onto Pavasari's back, and then kind of, as he kind of like sits there for a second, you see he kind of like internally reaches out to feel and connect with Pavasari, and as he's sitting there with his eyes closed, you see the turtle head kind of come up, look backwards towards him, and then looks forward, and as he's conjured, and the Jotra opens his eyes, smiling, and the turtle starts to walk towards and out the door. It's working! Oh my god! As he's riding the turtle out into the street at this point.
That's amazing. I'll see Jotra's shoes on the ground and be like, oh, you forgot.
I don't need shoes, I've got a turtle!
I kind of look to Orin and I'm just like...
And that is your still defender.
Yeah.
And as you go ahead and you're taking a look at this this little mechanical turtle, I say little. It's medium, isn't it? It's bigger than you.
Yeah, it's a medium
Yeah.
creature that I can technically ride.
You can.
That's amazing.
As it goes
Three
ahead and
small
begins
creatures
to
ride it.
leave. Yeah. As it goes ahead and begins to leave, you have this wave of just not only excitement and happiness, but just this sense of accomplishment. You feel this kind of wave of emotion come over you as you're watching your child almost begin to leave this building. And that'll be your level 3.
He's gonna look over at Eridan, he's like, I did it, I'm still good at this. I did it!
You did so good. I'm going to take his bootlaces and tie them and then like hook them onto his backpack.
Oh, thank you! And he's gonna ride it all the way back to the inn where he thinks everybody else is still because he hasn't been keeping track.
As you're riding it,
Oh no.
you realize there was actually something there that you don't remember putting there.
Hmm.
There's a small little gold and purple liver just behind its back, like the back of its head. You're like, I don't remember installing that.
Wait a minute. And Jotra just instinctively pulls it.
Yep. There it
As you do
is.
so, the heart inside that you made from the Gravicrist suddenly splits and begins to come downwards through its body, as suddenly its little fins come off the ground, begins to just hover in place.
Oh my god! Oh yes. Is it just a hover, or he kind of like sees if it'll go up and how far?
It's a hover for now,
Okay, all right.
as these are just these are shards of a Gravicrist. They're not a Gravicrist proper. So, yes, it does indeed hover, and I think this would be quite an odd sight for the rest of you, of just a hovering turtle made of metal with a little Jotra on the back going, "It works!"
Oh my god.
He made a flying turtle.
I made a flying turtle!
I thought he was gonna work on some kind of shield.
That's what Pavasari means. It means shield. He's my shield. Or they are. He kind of looks down. I guess it's they.
Turtle.
That is so sweet.
By the sisters, that's just amazing.
This is the greatest thing. I did it. The greatest thing I've ever done. It's right here. And I get to sit on it, and I get to ride it, and this is my new friend.
Anything like that. I guess that's not saying much coming from me now that I think about it. Never mind. I haven't seen much.
It's not uncommon for artificers, but it's uncommon for me.
As you go ahead and wander onwards on this little turtle, Ishchin and Athenos, you would eventually notice this little deep gnome just trailing along on this floating turtle.
I just stand still and watch it go by and go. It makes sense. It seems like his style.
A turtle of all things.
Maybe it'll slow his mouth down.
We can only hope.
I
think
wouldn't.
he'll just make up for it, to be honest.
I wouldn't put money on that. And that's okay.
I mean, it's sort of okay.
I guess I'm used to it, so
Okay,
that's fair.
it would be nice.
And as this is kind of happening, the suns are beginning to set, ever so softly, ever so slowly.
We need to discuss what we're doing next. Because we've got a decent bit of information from Jay. And what
What
we do
was
with
he
it,
calling himself?
Cadence, that's his surname, Captain Cadence. But I call him
Athenos,
Jay.
do you want to discuss this here? With all these people?
Discuss bugs?
Yeah, we got info on the bugs, at least, where he's getting them from. I don't know if you want to do anything about it. Do you guys want to help? Because I don't think what we did exactly stopped it. Maybe delayed it, but didn't stop it.
I personally wouldn't feel right just leaving things as they are without even at least trying. I'd like to see if there's anything we can do about it.
I just sent to Ishtin. Do you want to help? Or do you want to go our separate ways?
We have things to do.
I don't know about you all, but I think each of us kind of set out and have their own goals in mind. I know that the two of you have been traveling together, and the two of you have been traveling together. So you're probably like me, you've probably been alone for a while. But I don't know, because you don't really talk much, lad. I find sometimes it's better when you have someone watching your back. And I'll help you with your stuff, if you'll help me with mine.
I don't need your help.
Well, fuck, the offer was on the table now, wasn't it?
And she'll actually take a vial. Is Jotra still here, or did he fly away on a turtle?
Did he fly away on a turtle?
I
That's
would
a weird
assume,
sentence.
unless somebody flagged him down, you'd see Jotra kind of just flying in a little circle, like he's got a. It's so.
All right.
Unless anybody flags him down.
Yeah, I think Super would. He'd notice the conversation getting serious, and he'd be like,
Oh, yeah. And then the turtle kind of flies over, and as he kind of switches the lever forward, and. Sorry, what are we talking about?
Discussing what we're going to be doing next. If we're going to stay and help this situation or head out.
Oh, what did y'all think?
Personally, I vote for for doing what's right. I think we should help this town,
Okay.
and be better done together.
I agree.
Okay. Dupe.
Them bugs tried to eat me. I like eating them. Seems like folks around here need somebody to stand up for them. Too many bad people.
Agreed. And I also agree with Owen that I don't know, I think we make a pretty good team for only knowing each other for a few days. I don't know how long it's been in the game. Feels like ages.
Not long.
It's the longest 2 days ever.
The longest 2 days ever. We've only known each other for a little bit, but I do think that we're stronger together.
I know I've been more inspired than you. Nos, what do you think?
I'm pretty impartial. I'm sticking with Ishtin. If Ishtin feels it's best.
And then,
We have things to do that have nothing to do with bugs.
Joshua looks
And
like-
we do not share the values of this group at all.
thought we were getting closer to.
She'll pull out the vial that he gave her and walk up to him and hand it to him and say, and I do not need your pity either.
There's never pity. Just because you think it's one way doesn't mean it's that
I don't
way.
need to hear your excuses.
It's not an
I don't need to
excuse.
hear your explanations.
Hey, you don't want to know? You get to assume what I say and what I feel? That's not fair.
Become like her. And
Become
she
like her?
tips her head to Eridan, and not like me, Jotra. No one has taught you how to have a fierce heart. And if you try to force it, it will just break.
I'm not trying
So
to force
become
it.
like her, not like me.
Okay, I don't know. I know I'm soft compared to a lot of you, but this was never about pity. It was never about anything. I don't know this place. I grew up in one place. I'm learning about the world, and I'm adjusting how it comes to pass. I've never known anything like this, or like some of the people we've come across, but it was never out of pity. Like, pity is for those who can't help themselves. You are in no need of pity. You are very capable of helping yourself. Just 'cause I
Indeed,
wanna
which is
help-
why I have no need to stay with you.
But why do it alone if you don't have to? Like, also, I mean, I like having somebody who knows more than I do. I don't know anything. It's become more and more apparent the more that we go through these things. I know I know that you've got something that maybe eventually I could help with. It was to gather information. Like, information is the key of all decisions. Like, I don't even know how to pity anybody. And he kind of gestures to himself. There's not anybody looking for my pity, so I've never given it to anybody. I don't even know how to. All I can do is I try to help, and I try to, that's it. Helping is the one thing my mom and dad taught me. They were like, it's important to help people whenever you can. Dad was an adventurer. He said it would be easy. He lied to me. So now I don't know. I like having people around me to help me figure the adventuring part of the world out, or figure the world out. Like, I know you've seen too much of it, but I've seen too little, and it doesn't mean it's going to make me hard like it's made you. I'm going to be shaped because I'm me, and you're going to be shaped because you're you. Now, granted, I could become hard, but don't you want to become a little softer? Like, there are more marks on you than just the magical one that need
She
cured
takes
if you
out
return.
one of the rocks that you gave her and she throws it at your feet and says, I have no need of being soft. I did not come here to learn life lessons. I have a mission to finish.
And what happens afterwards?
How dare you suggest that I should be soft?
What happens afterwards, then? And you become so hard that you're a diamond and everything around you can't touch you or hurt you. Or
You
make
know
you
nothing
feel
of me,
anything.
Jotra.
I don't, because you won't let me.
I don't want you to, Jotra.
Why?
You are a child.
I am not a
And
child.
I did not come here to teach a child.
I didn't ask you to.
You are making
enough.
very bold assumptions.
I have no reason to stay with these people.
Oh, that did not go as smoothly as I thought it would. Let's get some rest and cool off.
Eridan's going
How
to
about-
just walk away.
You're an awfully ragtag group, aren't you?
We are not a group.
Wait, just turn around. Who said that?
It's Ton,
You
right?
take a look off to
Fine.
the side, and
Okay.
Torn is kind of propped up on the side of the inn, just kind of looking out.
Where are you going?
I'm watching a group of people ask the complete wrong questions. His eyes gaze towards Ishton. Warrior folk are often driven by a specific purpose. You want to help? You stop asking questions. You draw your blade, and you fight alongside them. And then you get your answers. Maybe. Maybe. You fought once. You got on well after that. Now you stand here asking more questions. Well, some people... He goes ahead and kind of taps his shield. Some people prefer action. We're not all wired the same. None of us are. We're all a little different. But it's about making those sacrifices and making those adjustments. And he actually turns to Ishton. And you can shut me up at any time.
I have no need to shut you up. There is wisdom that you speak. But I do not want to fight at their side for bug eggs.
There's a truth to that.
Eridan would have stopped walking when she heard Ton speak up.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps a compromise then. Get these people out. If we're going to... Well, we haven't decided where we're going after this, but... At least...
Have you ever fought these creatures before, Eridan?
Just the one that... The couple that we fought at the inn.
They dig. They multiply. If you want to help this town, you're going to need to cross the border. You're going to need to go to Yilton. And you're going to need to send soldiers. Because as powerful as you all are, Ishton's right. There's no point dying over some bug eggs. This is probably more than you can handle right now. I can keep watch of the town while you go and get aid. Send some people back and we can deal with the situation here. It looks like your path is taking you that way right now. Or perhaps... I don't know. Maybe one of the other cities will be more your speed. Judging by the few conversations we've had, and judging by what that one, his peripheral eye kind of flicks over to the inn, whatever that one was talking about. Perhaps it is worth attempting to forge bonds rather than assuming they're already there.
You gonna stay here?
Someone needs to make sure that these people are safe. They'll be scared off for a little while, but they'll eventually come back. Hopefully by that point, we'll have a bit more assistance.
He looks at Ishton.
You know where you're going?
Yes, we know where we need to go. I had assumed Athenos that is where we were going.
Save me some bug parts.
He hops up on Ishton.
That's if there's anything left. Kind of. For the first time, you see Torn actually smile. Just a little bit. In the corner of his mouth.
I'm just gonna stop that. Let's stop it. I don't like it when you do that.
It's unnerving.
Orin will
His
look
eyes
up
kind
at
of scan
Ishton.
across.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say his eyes kind of scan across the rest of the body.
Orin will look up at Ishton and say, well, my offer still stands. I'll fight with you if you want me to fight with you.
I think
Build
the
a relationship
point,
there.
the point is it's not whether she wants you to fight with her. It's whether you'll fight with her regardless.
She nods slowly to Tom.
It's not about ifs and maybes.
And
Just,
shut up, we're coming with you?
We're just gonna go with her.
Thorn kind of turns towards Joshua and says, if you want to tell her to shut up to her face, that is your funeral, not mine. You're passionate, little one. This is a good thing. Just gotta learn how people work. The most complicated machinery of it all. Right. And Torn kind of goes ahead and pulls, readjusts his gauntlets a little bit and just says, all right, well, that's enough life lessons. I'm getting some sleep.
Ishton will take her glaive and cross it over her chest and bow, not quite as low as she would usually, because Soup's on her back and she doesn't want to ship her over. Bow to Ton.
Surprisingly, probably the first time you've seen this particular bow come from an individual that is not a Triton. He salutes you with a military bow. He says, one of my old party. He kind of says nothing, but pulls a little amulet from his belt and throws it towards you, Ishton, and just says, one condition. When you've taken that journey, you bring that back to me to make sure you're not dead.
All right. I agree.
Then if we want to spar, and you want to go ahead and kick my ass, we can do that afterwards.
Oh, then I promise.
He's looking out to the rest of you. It's such an odd lot. He nods and begins to make his way into the Weaver's home. You hear the door slowly open and then close itself.
Boy, I'm tired. we got a place to stay, right?
Here, I believe, was the place that was offered to us. Though we can go somewhere else after this. Are we staying tonight or are we leaving? What is the point of staying?
I mean, it's getting late, and we've got a place to stay anyway. Might as well make the most of it. I'd rather not travel with these bugs around in the middle of the night.
Right.
Time for sleeping.
Time for sleeping soup.
The Weaver's house is open to you, as Torn did mention. Is anybody doing anything particular before they want to go ahead and take a rest?
Soup definitely wants to like go talk with Eridan.
All right. Go ahead.
What is Eridan doing?
Eridan, I don't think she goes inside right away. I think she's around this Weaver's house, and I think she's doing a whole bunch of like blade stuff and sort of cooling off.
You hear the door kind of, and a little crocodilian comes up to you, looks up.
Hey there.
Fancy.
Uh,
Where you learn that?
I don't know. Muscle
Oh,
memory,
yeah.
I guess. I'll let you know when I know, though.
Well, for not knowing much, you taught me something.
What?
He like looks around to make sure no one else is looking. He goes,
It's a secret.
Okay, I won't tell anyone. Promise.
Alright.
he like does the little positions again, and his like claws light up, and he like points his claws at her sword and makes it like gleam.
That's amazing. When did you learn this? Just today?
Didn't think it would work. I'm not magic. Guess I am now.
We all have a little bit of magic inside of us. Well, I guess it's there. Some people have to work harder to find it, though. Some people are just, they just have it. But she's like super happy, but she doesn't know what to do about it. She doesn't have an outlet for it. Is that, I can maybe teach you some other smaller stuff, maybe.
I was wondering, I saw some about like a fireball or something.
Fire isn't my specialty, but I can at least get you the basics. Because she'll walk over to, she set her bag on the ground and she'll reach in and pull it out. And she'll walk back over to Soup. This is what I found on me, what they found on me before I woke up. It's a spell book. And she'll flip through some pages, and there are like some pages that have like the fire spells. I don't remember exactly how to cast these, but I'm sure that I can figure it out and teach you. Yeah?
He like peers over at your book.
What that book written in?
Oh shit. I'm gonna say common. I'll be nice. There's like some shorthand that might be like scrawled in Infernal. For the most part, it's common. It's all common. So.
And this is your spell book, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're flicking through the as you're flicking through the pages, you take a look at some of the common, you take a look at some of the Infernal. And then as you turn one page, there's a couple of spells that you don't recognize. And that weren't here the last time you looked.
Of course. She'll like look at them confused, but she's like, okay, I'll put a pin in this and come back to that.
And those are your Sitara spells.
Yeah. It's gonna be so good. But yeah, she'll sheath her sword and grab her bag, and she'll gesture for almost a Jotra Soup to follow. And she's like reading through the book, and like you can as she's walking, she's like looking, but then also like tracing a rune, and like orange circles appear and then fizzle out. And she's like, no, okay, that's not it. And she's getting ready to show Soup.
He's just like watching every single thing you do. And like he's watching a laser pointer. He's just like, and you see him like patting around for like paper. And he takes like a little bit of like a piece of leather, and it's just like marking in it with his claws.
Oh. Yeah, I'll go to me and Josh's room, and we'll probably sit on the floor, and I'll show him things. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my heart's so full.
So you spend a bunch of time on that. Anybody else doing anything specific, or should we go ahead and long rest here?
Jotra's not going to be in the room in the night. He's going to just be floating around on his turtle, looking at the sky, trying to figure the world out.
Oh.
Think super hard, so he's probably going to fall asleep floating around the city on his turtle who's flying through the air.
Are either of you working on the cipher tonight?
Yeah, after the last revelation, that's gonna stay in the backpack. We're gonna focus on magic, which makes me smile and doesn't hurt.
No worries.
Fear the book.
Yes, fear the book.
Oh no, we'll crack it, just not tonight. We're taking a hot minute.
Oren.
Yes.
What are we up to?
I'd actually like to go find Athenos, if I could.
I assume Athenos Ishchin, are we sharing a room, or are we sitting in different ones?
Yeah, we'll be sharing a room.
Cool. You can go ahead and knock knock.
Yeah, come in.
Just wanted to speak with you for a moment, if you don't mind, Athenos.
Yeah, sure. I'll just turn to Ishin. I'll be right back. And I head out.
I'll just pull him into the hall and just... Look, last time I upset your huntmate, she damn near cut me head off, so I want to make sure I don't do that again. And I find that asking too many questions tends to get on her bad side. So it's just one question. You don't have to tell me anything, really. Where are you and her headed? Where do you need to go?
I'm really sorry, but this is definitely something we might have to have Ishin and I discuss what we want to tell you.
All right, I'll tell you what. She scares the living hell out of me.
She should. That proves that you're smart.
Just-
At least you have that going for you.
I think, personally, I respect her greatly. You as well. I think you're a cool lad. Now, in the future, I could maybe use some help from people as tough and strong as you, because I don't know what I might face. And I'm offering my fists, my staff, to help you. So wherever you want to go next, I'm with you. Just let her know that. I'm with you.
I will. I'll let her know. I think she might show it in a weird way, but she hates you the least. I just pat him on the back and then walk back into the room.
And as that sentence enters Orin's brain, he just is super confused. And as he kind of walks down the hall, he kind of mutters to himself, like, fucking really?
Oh no. Once again, I'm in danger.
Alrighty. Any other chats before we all head to sleep?
I mean, yeah, I think right after that conversation, I walk in. I'm probably smiling a bit because that was the fact that he openly admitted he's scared shitless of Ishton was amusing to me. So I walk in and sit next to Ishton. Orin, I know that encounter downstairs got a bit heated, but Orin generally does want to help. He literally just came to let me know, to ask me to let you know, because I think he doesn't. He's scared of you. Did you know that? He's terrified of you.
I was hoping.
Yeah, he was too scared to say this himself. At least not again, anyway. So he asked me to say it for him. That he's gonna be honest. He's going through stuff that he might need help with, but he also wants to lend his fists for anything we might need help with. Again, this leg of the journey is for you. So I'm not going to call the shots for who comes and who doesn't. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I don't think you need anyone else other than me. I mean, I'm a great shot, great with my saber as well. But if you want to bring anyone else along, if you ever thought or considered it, I won't be offended. Just know that I am also better than them.
You are better than anyone. Never doubt that, Athenos. She'll tap your pistol. Say, but there is something that you want too. If we trust him, if we trust the ones who come to us with respect, you could have one here.
When I was talking to Jay, I did not see those archers coming. I'll be honest, I definitely underestimated him. Thought it would come out on his own. But the moment they popped out, fucking everybody jumped out and defended me before I even realized what the fuck was going on. They're not my crew. I don't think they could ever be. But what they showed there was pretty damn close.
I think that you are a person who needs to be surrounded by more than one person, Athenos, regardless of how I feel or what I want. For this, I would gamble on trusting them.
I want to give... This is selfish. I know. But I do want to give... I don't trust him. I need to make that clear. I don't trust him. But I want to give them the chance to earn it. When I ended up on your shores, you could have killed me. I could have ran away. But we both gave each other the chance to earn each other's trust. At least I think. I don't think I'm going to ever trust them as much as I trust you. You literally saved my life. I would have died if it wasn't for you. But I think they could be good people to have around. For now, at least.
For now, at least. For this, I will, like I said, make a gamble. And you can be selfish about this, and I will do it.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. As long as nobody has anything else to do, we can go ahead and take our long rests now. I don't think anyone actually needs long rests stat-wise, but hey, you're level 3.
Spellback. All right.
Oh, yeah. The morning comes a little quicker than most of you may like. Rather tense night's sleep for some, as the suns begin to rise across the horizon. You hear just a little muttering outside from people who are coming out of their homes and filling back into the inns in order to stay safe. You can hear a couple of words from Torn as he's kind of saying, no. You need to get... This isn't over. This isn't over yet. You definitely need to stay somewhere where I can keep my eyes on you. He's kind of pulling a few begrudging individuals in. You all begin to wake, and there's a small, kind of a small setup of breakfast-related food and stuff. Nothing fancy, just some bread, some fruits that are just starting to over-ripen just a touch. You one by one file in, and there's probably a little bit of a tension in the air from some folks as you go ahead and take your breakfast.
Jocho is probably still not back if it's a very early breakfast, but he'll probably
Fair enough. Cool.
What about you all night?
We'll find out next time.
Yeah, you go ahead and grab your breakfast. You begin to kind of hear some muttering outside as there's a knock on the door from someone who just says, just so you know, I'm happy to keep this house free if you need it. You've done us a service. I'd like to repay it how I can.
Oh, that warmed Drax's heart, but Athena doesn't care.
Wait, is this old
Same.
lady standing outside of her house yelling in?
Yeah.
Yes.
She hasn't stepped in.
my
It's
God.
her fucking house.
Apparently, we didn't notice that she was not even in her house all night because she
Yeah.
was putting us up in it.
Oh god.
She's just yelling through the door and just says, well, good day. You hear the slight shuffle and muttering to herself as she just, I need to do this, then I need to go ahead and finish that. She kind of just potters along. And as you do so, Jotra, you end up kind of floating your way in. The door opens up, and as Eridan asks where you've been, we can go ahead and wrap up there.
Well,
Well, you'll find out next time. Oh, bit of a heavier session, but that's okay. Yeah. Thank you very much to the folks who are still watching. We love you very much, very dearly. You can catch us here, exactly the same time, exactly the same channel, next week for the next episode of The Mind of the Martyr. We'll quickly go around the horn. Going to start off with Jen here. Where can people find you? And what you up to?
Sorry, I'm feeling a lot of feels, so I'm gonna try to focus. Feels. You can find me on Twitter, Quixote Jen, QUIXOTEJEN, 1 N, not 2. And I'm Jen Quixote on Discord. And I'll be back on Tuesday at 6 Pacific for The Gods We Know. And I'm nicer on that show. And that's it for now.
Easier to figure out, I would say.
Easier. That's fair, because Ishton is actually a lot sweeter than people think that she is.
Yes.
And actually, you can see us. We're starting to work on our Pride activities for June. So anyone in our Discord, come join us if you're not already. We're going to have indie creators, one each week, whose games are going to be featured, and some of them are going to run their games with us. And then we're going to have a 12-hour charity stream, and the whole month is a fundraiser for the Trevor Project, which does mental health and crisis intervention for LGBTQIA youth on the phone in the United States, but digitally all over the world. And this is a time when those mental health needs are more acute than really ever before. This is what I do for a living, and I can tell you that a lot of people are stuck at home with parents who don't really understand them. And stuck away from their found families and their peer groups. So this is a really good time to be, and I know everyone's having a rough time economically. This is a good time to be putting some money toward this particular cause as well. So we're working on that. And if you're interested in being in a game and helping toward a good cause, or just interested in donating, stop on by and we'll give you the info you need.
And as Jenna said, we are trying to get as many people involved as possible. So please, 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 please reach out. We want to hear you. Come on. Just, jump the Discord, jump in. Heck, you can message our Twitter. You can message our Twitch. Whichever method you want to do, we would love to hear from you. Cool. We'll move on to Ty.
Ty here. You can find me at Hitchhiker Mind on Twitter. On my own channel, DM a game every Tuesday. It's just twitch.tv/HitchhikerTheMind. DM Emporium, of course. Great one-stop shop. I know they treat their employees well because I'm the only one. No, and so come on over. We'll kind of hang out, try to find something you like, and then don't forget you can support this wonderful channel with the code FWRD. And a problem not so as pig-headed as Joe Trey is in real life.
All right, Drac.
I am Drac or Draconics. You can find me on Draconics on Twitch and Twitter. I'm sorry I have not been on Twitch on my personal account. I probably won't be in anytime soon, to be honest. But you can find me on Twitter, DRAKONIQUES. I'm going to be here every Thursday, 6 p.m. PST, playing Athenos. So hopefully starting to become more lovable. I'm hoping showing a bit more of that. The lovable Yuan-Ti pirate, who's apparently has an angry snake daddy. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm also.
You're welcome.
I feel like now we need a T-shirt that says "Angry Snake Daddy."
Oh my god.
Snake Daddy says relax.
Snake Daddy say relax.
Never mind. We don't need T-shirts. We don't need T-shirts.
But that's all I'm really doing right now. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Adam.
Hello, I am Adam. You can find me at Adam Hardy VO. My fingers are there. There they are. Weird background. Not a whole lot going on at the moment aside from Mind and Martyr, but as soon as we are free to move about and be together again, I will have something. So fingers crossed that the idiots don't make a second wave.
Alrighty. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
Fingers crossed. It's important. Cole.
Hey, howdy, bye. I'm Cole. You can find me at Cole Muriel on Twitter. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday as Kepri and the Gods We Know, and Iridan in what is this again? The Martyr. Oh gosh, I had a total brain fart there for a second.
Thanks, Cole. That's
No, it's not how I meant it. I'm also trying to be quieter because my roommate's sleeping. And I think Eridan's cooler than me, so I was like, maybe I'm not as blank as Eridan. No, she's cooler than me. It's all right. I accept it. She does the cool blade thing. Like, I can't top that. Shit.
I don't know. Your art begs to differ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, your art is
She
magical.
does with a sword.
which should
You
be,
with a
if we're
staff.
talking about that, should be coming out slowly but surely.
These
Yeah.
backgrounds might be a sneak peek.
Just the slightest little bit. Yeah, if you're interested in the characters, what they look like, perhaps something to do, the backgrounds may be slightly related, and just how badass everyone is, then yeah, keep an eye on the Mind of the Martyr Twitter.
And Instagram too.
And Instagram,
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
because Corey puts a lot of work into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And he's doing great. Yes, all of our wonderful social medias. Sure.
Hi, I'm Sean, aka at No Tweet Sean, Upknock Sean on Twitter, not Twitter, Discord. I am one of the admins over at Thread Raiders. Here coming up June 26th through 28th, we are running the Oasis of Hope, which is a nice oasis from all of this COVID nonsense and being by yourself. You instead get to play with a bunch of awesome people, new friends, and old friends. So hop on over to the Thread Raider Discord and check that out. Go ahead and put that in chat now. But you can catch me here on the Mind of the Martyr and in a lot of random other places, but mostly you'll see me raising money for assorted charities through D&D and TTRPG related things.
You should go and check them out because they're all wonderful people and they're doing stuff for amazing causes. So, I'm Ray. You can find me at Bearded Baymax on Twitter, or I'm also hanging around in the Friends Who Roll Dice Discord, which you should definitely join. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. We're all wonderful. And that's also where you can get involved with some of our Pride stuff as well, as Jen has mentioned before. So, would love to see you in there. You can see me here Tuesdays as Tobias on The Gods We Know. You can also see me here DMing every Thursday. And yeah, thank you for joining us in this little foray into my brainchild, I guess.
DMing fantastically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there is
Fabulous, fantastic.
Thank you. If you didn't say it, I was.
And DMing fantastically sick 2 weeks in a row. So
Yes, I'm currently combating a lung infection, which is wonderful.
Just
which
a
is
lung
why lung
No big
infection
deal.
and some horrible medication that's currently just making me scatterbrained as anything, but that's fine. No worries. Yeah. Do we have a raid lined up?
We do. I was looking at Welcome Party RPG. They're playing Hyperdrive right now. The Empire's Wrath, a Star Wars saga. So I thought that might be kind of fun to jump into. There's that. I know the Zweihander tabletop is also streaming, so I was going to kind of leave it up to group vote. Do we want to go
haven't
sci-fi
rated,
or fantasy?
We haven't rated Zweihander yet.
Yeah.
That'll be
Let's
a nice
do
one
it.
to,
Okay. So
yeah.
let's go ahead and
All right.
do
Let's go
Zweihander.
ahead and get ready for the raid. Love you,
Make sure I
folks.
spelled
Thank you for
Zweihander
watching.
correctly.
Stick around. Please stick around and show some support for some other creators.
Yes.
Look after yourselves. Drink water. Wash your hands. And love each other. Keep moving forward.
Perfect.